What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. I want to talk about some recent news that I heard. If you go to boxing scene, there's a couple new articles. One said that Amir Khan was speaking on who he wants to fight. Um, he's pressing for a Danny Garcia rematch, and he basically said if Danny Garcia thinks I have no chin, if I have a glass chin, why is he afraid to rematch me? Why doesn't he want to rematch me? Um, Realistically, I don't know what he's talking about because he already had the fight with Carlos Molina set for December, and by that time, the Danny Garcia versus Zab Judah was already announced. So Danny Garcia already has a fight for February. So a rematch wouldn't have been possible, most likely before anyway. And it's funny that he's talking about that because what rematches has he given other than Lamont Peterson, which is someone who is a light puncher and he felt his power and he thought he won. So he definitely felt he could beat him in a rematch. But Bradis Prescott knocked you out in one round. There was no rematch. Marcus Maidana wanted a rematch, and that never happened. So I don't know that Amir Khan. He seems kind of cocky in a lot of regards, in my opinion, just because I don't know. I haven't seen him issue out many rematches, but yet the fight that he feels the fights he feels he can beat that person, then he, you know what I mean. He's definitely pushing for a rematch. But like I said, I didn't see no huge push for him to rematch Marcos Maidana or Bradis Prescott. But that's just my opinion. Speaking of Marcos Maidana, it looks like KO artist Marcos Maidana said he is ready for Amir Khan in April. He said he's willing to fight him, even at a catchweight. I just want to give an early prediction and put my thoughts out there. If Marcos Maidana, if he loses the weight correctly, because as we know, um, Maidana's currently fighting at the 147-pound division, and Khan's at 140. But if they do meet at a catchweight and he can lose the weight and he's not so far removed from because he used to fight at 140, but as long as he's not so far removed from that weight division to the point where he's like noticeably not the same fighter, i.e., Chad Dawson versus Andre Ward. Chad Dawson looked really lethargic and probably worse than I've ever seen him. So you could tell the catch weight had some effect. Nothing taken from Andre Ward because I think Andre Ward would have beat him at 175 too, but I think it would have been a little bit harder. Um, and it might not have been in a stoppage like it was. Same thing with Miguel Cotto versus Pacquiao. I'm not saying Cotto would have definitely won, but I think he would have had a better chance had they not fought at a catchweight. Same thing with De La Hoya and Pacquiao. So the catchweights can definitely hurt a fighter, especially if the fighter just doesn't have youth on his side or depending on how they make the weight, basically. So if that all goes okay and again Marcos Maidana doesn't look like a drastically different fighter, I see Marcos Maidana beating Amir Khan, possibly by stoppage this time. I see the biggest thing is he already had punching power. But the biggest thing is him working with Robert Garcia in his last fight against Jesus Soto Caras. He looked like a different fighter. I'm telling you, Robert Garcia put work in with him because he was using a jab. He was fighting off the ropes. His defense looked better. His stamina looked better. It looked like he wasn't punching himself out. The only red flag that I kind of noticed in the Jesus Soto Caras fight was looked like Maidana at times was getting frustrated and maybe he had some late shots after the bell. I haven't seen it. I only seen that fight once on the Canelo Josecito undercard when it first aired, but I haven't seen it again since that. But I remember there was something that Maidana was doing. I think it was like late shots after the bell. He did it multiple times, so there was a couple instances where it looks like he was getting frustrated. But as you guys know, Maidana did win that fight via TKO. And honestly, I see him bringing it to Khan this time because when they first fought, Amir Khan and Marcos Maidana, in my honest opinion, I feel Marcos Maidana is just a tough son of a bitch. He's just a tough Argentinian fighter with heavy hands, and that's how he fought. It looked like he had Amir Khan hurt, and then it looked like he had punched himself out, and he was really tired and couldn't really follow up and finish him. And Amir Khan was skipping around the ring, and he was having to chase him. And Marcos Maidana is definitely a slower fighter. He is not known for having tremendous footwork like a Mayweather or a Pacquiao or somebody. So that just took its toll. But under the training and tutelage of Robert Garcia, I honestly see Marcos Maidana improving. Again, he was utilizing a jab, which is something I never really seen him use a jab like he did in the Jesus Soto Coraz fight. So if you haven't seen it, YouTube it. I'm sure it's somewhere. Watch that fight. And again, he looked like a different fighter. So I really see him pressuring and being a lot more economical or smarter and not just taking looping shots and not having to chase him as much with Robert Garcia in his corner. That's my honest opinion. Let me know what you think in a rematch, even at a catchweight. Who wins, Marcos Maidana or Amir Khan? Or do you guys prefer to see Amir Khan rematch Danny Garcia? Which fight do you want to see more? Who wins? Let me know. Leave a comment. As always, subscribe, comment, and or hate. It really doesn't matter because I'm still getting the views. Until next video, it's Ego signing off.